Hi friends, welcome back to my channel SciTech. In this I'm going to compare the side-by-side display comparison between the Realme GT Neo 3 versus Realme GT2 device. Yes, since I'm getting so many comments asking me to compare both phones side by side, and let's see which display will be having really very bright and low brightness levels with studio lighting effect and without studio lighting effect. In-depth comparison, I'll try to compare between these both phones exactly. So first let's discuss about the default specifications what the both phones are having. So these are the few default specifications friends which the Realme did announce regarding the both phones exactly. So the panel which is present in the Realme GT Neo 3 is 10-bit panel, as you can clearly see friends, 10-bit. That's slightly advantage in this Realme GT Neo 3 device. Let me do slightly clear the screen before comparing the both phones so you guys can actually see the screen properly. Yes. Overall, you can see friends, side by side 1300 nits of peak brightness levels and 120 Hz refresh rate is present in this device. And where is the Realme GT Neo 3? So I think even this phone has got the close to 1300 nits or 1200 nits of peak brightness levels and 6.7 inches screen size, slightly kind of 6.7 inches, little bit kind of big than usual, because most of the Realme phones they do have 6.67 inches, but this one is 6.7 inches, slightly bigger but not much. And I cannot find any kind of information related to the display brightness levels on this Realme GT Neo 3. I think this display brightness levels might be kind of close to 1200 nits or 1300 nits. That's what I'm expecting on this device regarding the display brightness levels. Now let's go to the settings option what's present inside the display. So regarding the settings and customization, right now at this moment, the Realme GT2 has got plenty of customizations where you can enable a lot of them. For example, image sharpener you can actually enable here, and video color enhancer also you can enable the option, and MEMC feature which works really fantastic in terms of boosting the FPS from 30 FPS to 60 FPS. That's really great. So all the three options are not present in the GT Neo 3. Even I'm really shocked to see, because this phone doesn't have any kind of those options, nothing at all. But one option which is a brighter HDR video mode which is also available if you want, you can enable or disable. But apart from that, I did not see any kind of major changes in this GT Neo 3. So at least the Realme will be including one or more options friends regarding the display, but it's very shocked to see that Realme did not include any options in the GT Neo 3 unfortunately. So for example, if you were to take the Realme X Max, at least there is one option which is called the video color enhancer. So this also works slightly kind of better, little bit but not much, just little bit, can actually increase the saturation levels before and after. As you can see, even this option is present in the Realme X Max, but this option is also not present in this device. So just imagine friends, even other phones like Realme GT Master Edition also did have some of the options in the settings, which is a video enhancer. So just this is a small information which I thought of sharing with you all guys. So what's going on here, and you're in the image screen mode. I'm trying to select the same mode between these both phones, vivid mode. Exactly right now, as you can see, vivid mode I have selected, and right now you can see the display panel colors, which color has got what type of like screen mode, exactly like white color, low brightness. I'm trying to increase the brightness little by little. And in the dark mode, there is no option for the enhanced, I think option. Enhanced mode is not present in this device. That's also another drawback is there anyway. But anyway, this is a quick comparison friends between these both phones in terms of the display settings. Now let's move to the actual display comparison between these both phones. Right now, as you can see, this is a display panel. This is how it looks: 10-bit panel versus normal 8-bit panel. There's nothing much huge difference going on with the color comparison between these both phones right now. But some areas you can actually see slightly kind of good in this device with the maximum brightness test. And right now let me turn off the lights and show you the results. What's going on? If you try to turn off the lights in the low brightness mode with no studio lighting, you should know how the both phones are actually behaving regarding the display as well. Let me keep the minimum brightness test. So this is a minimum brightness test. One more quick note I forgot to mention, did I enable DC dimming or not, because I should not enable that option while performing this test, because this might cause display color changes. Yes, I will try to turn off. If you don't enable the display DC dimming, you will get the flickering in the Realme GT Neo 3. As you can see, there is no flickering much happening. Even if you turn on or turn off, nothing much happening in the GT2. As you can see friends, side by side comparison. Now it's time to check the video sample. Right now, as you can see, friends, I'm trying to play the video with the low brightness mode. You can see the low brightness mode. The GT2 display looks slightly kind of saturated. Try to look at the display. Even I'm really shocked to see this kind of saturation levels comparison. The GT Neo 2 display, it's not that saturated at this moment in the low brightness mode. If you try to observe clearly the colors and everything. So noticed in the beginning, friends. So same settings I'm trying to use between these both phones. We can see the saturation levels in the GT2, which looks pretty good, right? I did not enable any kind of video enhancement mode, nothing I have enabled. Let me to go to the settings and show you that, because you should know I'm not enabling any options. So phone is too hot, the features are unavailable. You got the message as well. MEMC option is also turned off. Everything is turned off, as you can see, friends. But still, the display on the GT2 looks kind of more saturated. Try to observe again. As you can see, side by side comparison exactly. Look at this sun here. Look at this. In the low brightness mode. Now let me to increase the brightness to 8. Same brightness I'm trying to keep between these both phones and try to observe again. So both phones start to flicker because I did disable the DC dimming, but GT2 display looks really good. Like for me, I can like feel the difference as well. Exactly. You can look at this sky. That's another thing to be noted, friends, regarding the display panel. Clearly side by side comparison. So I can actually feel the difference while watching some of the scenarios. Try to observe this scenario. Exactly this scenario. I'll try to pause it and you might be able to see what's happening as well. Try to observe the saturation levels and the brightness levels. You can see clearly the saturation looks pretty good in the GT2, but not that great in the GT Neo 3 regarding the display. So yes, the display also not that great in the Realme GT Neo 3 device, unfortunately. That's something to be noted, friends, regarding the both phones. Comparison side by side, I can definitely feel the difference GT2 versus GT Neo 3. Let me turn on the lights and compare. So let me try to show you the viewing angles, how it actually looks. So both phones do have a really kind of very similar viewing angles, nothing much huge difference. Not a problem. Now let me try to turn on the lights and compare. Let's see what's happening with the full brightness mode. Which display looks what kind of way. Even with the full brightness mode as well, you can clearly see how it's kind of saturated. I can clearly observe the difference, guys. Yes, the display, I like the Realme GT2 display more than the GT Neo 3. And this video is not edited in any part. So you can clearly see the top of the houses, red color, how much saturated they are. Even though I did not enable any options, same settings I'm trying to use. DC dimming is also off between these both phones. And that's it, friends. Thank you for watching. And overall, the final conclusion is that the GT2 has got better saturation levels and contrast levels than the GT Neo 3. This is a clear declaration, because before I used to get slightly very similar results, but right now I did observe that's a huge difference. So meanwhile, signing off, friends. Thank you for watching. And Realme GT2 display is really the good one in this kind of comparison. Meanwhile, signing off. Until then, stay tuned for more updates and bye.